Did Morticia Addams give us a spoiler at the very beginning of the series, or the best advice for our personal growth? At minute 15 of the very first episode of Wednesday, Morticia Addams gives us a line that might actually guide the entire series. But most of us ignored it because the plot was so intriguing. We simply didn't notice. As she's saying goodbye, Morticia tells her daughter, "You are a very bright girl, Wednesday, but sometimes you are your own worst enemy." I have 3 theories about this phrase, which might be the key to understanding the whole show. 1. A narrative spoiler. We're all used to looking for external enemies. Even Wednesday spends most of the episodes suspecting her classmates, the principal, the normies, the outcasts. But Morticia had already said it all. So, who was the true enemy in the end? A woman played by Christina Ricci, the actress who portrayed Wednesday in the 90s. Could it be that a former version of Wednesday was her enemy in this new timeline? Was that what Morticia meant? That could be one interpretation, but it doesn't fully convince me. 2. A psychic visiones. We've seen Morticia has visions, just like Wednesday. It's possible she foresaw what her daughter would go through at Nevermore Academy, but I believe Morticia is even deeper than that. 3. A mother's intuition. This is my third and strongest theory. Morticia, with her mother's sixth sense, knew her daughter. She knew Wednesday's greatest weakness, herself. So why would Wednesday be her own worst enemy? I believe all of us are our own worst enemies when our attitudes, beliefs, or behaviors sabotage the life we truly want. We limit our potential by clinging to fear, to past versions of ourselves, or to the desire to fit into a world that expects something we are not. Wednesday is highly intellectual. Since childhood, instead of asking questions, instead of seeking comfort from her parents, she internalized everything. Remember the scene when her pet scorpion is killed? She doesn't run to her mother or father. She buries it and moves on alone. She lets her mind create its own assumptions about life, love, and support. Right there is the root of a childhood wound. Did Morticia know this, even if she wasn't there in that painful moment? We don't know. The show doesn't tell us, but entering Nevermore seems to be a symbolic inner journey, a battle between Wednesday's brilliant, overactive mind and the emotional child hiding behind her coldness. As the story unfolds, we clearly see how Wednesday is her own saboteur. She arrives at Nevermore, and a series of murders begins. She's not interested in school. She already knows the whole academic program by heart. Her only motivation is solving the mystery, but in that mission, her only real enemy is herself. She's the one who ruins her progress again and again. Why? Because she has an intense need for total control. She wants to do it all herself. Find the clues, solve the mystery, save the day, alone. But slowly, she realizes she can't do it alone. She even sabotages her own social life. Take the secret society that meets in the underground library. Wednesday had the intelligence, the powers, the potential to be part of it. But because she'd been so cold and self-centered, no one even considered inviting her, or when she wrongly accuses Xavier. From the start, her assumptions clouded her judgment. She couldn't see he was actually on her side and ended up sending him to jail. Another huge act of sabotage. Her visions. She has the power to see the truth, but only when she touches others. But she avoids physical connection, avoids emotion. If she had allowed herself to feel sooner, her investigation would have advanced much faster. And the very first act of sabotage, when she says goodbye to her mother. If Wednesday had asked about the medallion Morticia gave her what other power it had, it could have saved her a lot earlier. That medallion literally saved her life in the last episode, but she didn't want to connect with Morticia. This isn't just Wednesday's story. It's ours. We all have an internal enemy. For some, it's overthinking. For others, it's procrastination, self-doubt, fear, or the desire to hide who we truly are. We try to fit in because that's what we learned as children, to behave in, a way that would earn our parents' protection. And in the process, we become ghosts of ourselves, a perfectly masked version for the world. But behind that mask, there is a silent scream. Yet Wednesday has two traits we should imitate to defeat our inner enemy. She never plays the victim. Things happen, sure, but she never collapses in self-pity. She never cries, "Why me?" or expects the world to rescue her. She doesn't wait for the world to change. She changes. She grows. She becomes stronger than the problem. These two attitudes are key to how she overcomes her inner enemy. There are 5 key scenes that prove this. When Principal Weems gives her the chance to leave Nevermore, Wednesday chooses to stay and face the challenge. She knows she's not a victim. When she starts allowing emotions and connections, her friendship with Eugene helps her act with heart instead of cold logic. When she has a vision that reveals Eugene's danger, she acts immediately even though her mind would normally hesitate. When Enid moves out because of Wednesday's selfishness, Wednesday feels the loss. She realizes she misses her roommate, who always stood by her. When she discovers that Tyler is the real Hyde, she owns her mistake. Instead of isolating or blaming herself for falling in love with someone who betrayed her, she joins forces with the other students to fight Joseph Crackstone, the real enemy. She turns her mistake into strength and finds power in teamwork. Nevermore is a metaphor for facing our shadows and our fears. In conclusion, Wednesday teaches us that life is a full package journey to confront our fears and inner shadows. How many Nevermore academies have you walked through in your life? That situation that repeats again and again. That partner who brings out the same issues as the last. That job where your boss and coworkers feel like déjà vu. How many Nevermores are there in your life? And are you ready to use them as a tool to say never again to fear, to old patterns, to the inner enemy you created as a mask for survival? Because Morticia Addams wasn't just speaking to her daughter, she was speaking to all of us. Share your thoughts in the comments. My goal isn't to convince you, but to invite you to reflect, to uncover the hidden story behind every character, and maybe behind yourself.